I'm Karen Rivas. I'm doing my block number 3 for my second language acquisition class. Today I'm going to interview my mentor teacher, Ms. Elder. Ms. Elder, would you like to introduce yourself?
Well, she did a good job. I'm Miss Elder. I teach first grade at Gobble Elementary.
How long have you been teaching?
This is my 13th year to teach. 13th or 14th, kind of lost count.
Yes, she has a lot of experience with teaching. So I'm going to ask you some couple questions about your experience with your English language learner students.
Okay, awesome.
So the first question is, in what area of English have you noticed your English language students have struggled the most? Music in the background.
What areas have they struggled the most in? I would have to say they tend to struggle more with writing.
Right.
And it could be because I teach first grade, and in first grade I pretty much teach everybody to read. But writing is more of storytelling and having to come up with an idea and write it down. So they tend to struggle with, they have the idea in their head, but they don't really have all the words and the language to like write it out. So even when I taught pre-K, some of them couldn't get it out of their head. You know, kindergarten, they sometimes take a piece of story together, and by first grade they're a little bit better, but I would say that's the area that I think they struggle the most with.
And writing. All right, so how similar or different are your bilingual to monolingual students? So your bilingual is your monolingual.
Yeah. They're pretty much the same, you know. I mean, as far as academics, the areas that they struggle in, is that what you're asking me?
Sure, I'm reading exactly what the question says. So yeah, you can answer like, what is the difference in the
How similar or different about them? I feel like their struggles academically can be the same, except for like that little area in writing where sometimes my bilingual students might struggle a little bit.
In writing. Okay, what type of motivation is most noticeable in your ELL students? So what do you use to motivate them? What is
praise.
for them?
They absolutely love praise. Usually it's not like hands-on things or little toys or trinkets or bird tracks or things like that. Usually it's verbal praise, just that they did something right, and I'm gonna either praise you, you did a good job, or I like the way you said that. Sometimes if they've done a good job in their writing and me using their writing for other students, being an example, just kind of building them up like that.
So working on the self-esteem.
Well, I wouldn't even say it's more self-esteem. I think it's more confidence.
The confidence.
Just like
Okay.
getting the confidence. If I did this right, she's noticing it. It's very similar to my peers. So.
Okay, and this is not on the list, but I want to ask another question. Have you ever dealt with a child that come to your classroom and know no English at all?
Absolutely.
How did you deal with that?
So I had a student 4 years ago that spoke Mandarin,
Okay.
and I don't speak Mandarin. I had about 10 years of Spanish, and I thought I was solid. Sure, I could do ESL, but this student came in and she did not speak any English whatsoever. So I went and I got a picture dictionary. And I pretty much put pictures all over my classroom.
Okay.
And it's funny, kids, regardless of their language, they pretty much act and do the same thing, and they talk a lot with their hands. I talk a lot with my hands naturally, so I think that helped her, and the pictures and learning the basic vocabulary, and we were able to and of course she got additional services being pulled out with another ESL teacher, so I think that helped her, but yes.
Okay, and how do you deal with communicating with parents who, just like the children, they don't know English?
Google Translate helps
Translate
a lot. Like if they don't speak any English, then I use Google Translate a lot to send lots of written communication home, hoping that they will, because if I send it written and it's in their language, a lot of them will reply back in their language, and then I can Google Translate, and that way they don't feel like they always have to have a translator. And of course, if it's a face-to-face meeting, then there's usually someone here to translate.
Would you consider is it the same or more difficult working with parents from ESL students?
Same.
Is it the same?
It's the same.
The same? All right, well, thank you so much for taking your time and letting me
You're
interview
welcome.
you.
Thanks for having me.
This is my awesome mental teacher.
And this is my wonderful student teacher.
All right, well, So